All right, all right, all right. So, whew. It's so funny. I turn it on. My brother says that I got this thing that I do when I turn on the camera. So today, I'm going to do something a little different. I wanted to get on here, and the title currently says "Super Clear and Super Confused, Feeling Lost and Not Sure What to Do." Um, I wanted to get on here and have a raw and real rant. I was just sending one of my clients a message. This is for creatives, creators, coaches. Those are kind of a lot of the people who are neurodivergent, have ADHD. I'm gonna start getting on here more often and just doing these raw and real lives where I stop worrying about what to say, how to say it, which way I should say it, how long I should say it, how long I should talk, what I should do, when I should post, how often I should post, all these different things. And I grew a video production company that was really, really successful in a lot of ways. And I didn't know the right or wrong way to do it. I should or shouldn't do it. There's this way to do it. I mean, I use the yellow pages and freaking billboards and all sorts of things that at times, I don't even know if the yellow pages really still exist. If they do, they're probably not doing that well. But I followed a lot more of my heart, my gut, my intuition, my spirit, my soul, and I just did. And I took MIA, massive imperfect action. And then the older I got, I found the more I did. Hold on, my Siri's going off. The more and more I did less of that and got more and more into overthinking my actions. And what I have found that I wanted to get on here because I do so much in private with my clients that a lot of people don't realize I spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day, speaking and coaching people like 5 days a week. And because at times right now, I don't put a lot out on social media. I don't put out a lot of content. And the funny thing is, in my video production company, I generated the most amount of money in the second half of my career, where if you followed me online, you wouldn't have really known what I did or who I shot for or anything, because I really wasn't wanting to do video anymore. So I really did my best to not promote much of what I did. But I had so many referrals and people really liked working with me. And I had a lot of conversations behind the scenes. And when I did work with people, people wanted to work with me. So it just worked. And then having a coaching business or an online business or an online motivational business or whatever you want to call it, which is probably something I'll talk about here as well. I started following all these people who have all these opinions about the right way to do things. And this is the way, this is the only way. And every time you turn around, there's, quite frankly, a different opinion out there. And what you'll find is these people aren't wrong, but what they say doesn't work is what doesn't work for them. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. And so one day you'll find somebody who says, do Facebook ads. The next day you'll find somebody who says, don't do Facebook ads. The next day you'll find somebody who says, do Facebook ads, but do it along with some organic. Then there's somebody else who says, don't do organic, just do paid advertising. And then somebody else who says, don't do either one of those, just knock on doors. And so the more you turn around, the more you look around, the more that you find that there's all these conflicting opinions all the time. And there's a lot of people with a lot of conviction, and they're really serious. And if you think because of their likes, their views, their subscribers, or potentially the money they say that they make, that they know better than you because you don't have the likes, the subscribers, the views, or the money, I would anchor in to say that you potentially are not accurate at that. I've had to find, and this is something I want to say, when I get on here with something like this, these rants are as much for me as they are for you. Because something that I have found in the world of personal development and coaching is that there's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of coming on here and me talking at you. Like, I have things figured out and my life is better than yours because I'm this coach or this mentor or this advisor or counselor or whatever term that we want to use for the things that I do when I help people transform their life. But it's not because my life is perfect and their life isn't, or your life isn't, and I have these special answers, or that these other life coaches and consultants and therapists, that their lives are all hunky-dory, rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns. What I found is many of these people's lives are probably just as messed up or more messed up than your life. And so the thing is that at times people are really great at doing the brain surgery on somebody else, but they can't do the brain surgery on themselves. And so for me, I live in this paradox where, yeah, my life is not too bad. I'm not going to lie. And I've worked really hard over time to develop a mindset and an attitude and perspective that allows my life to, as a whole, internally feel really good. But that doesn't mean I don't get confused. I don't get lost. I don't get angry or sad or any of these other human emotions. I just am better at managing it than a lot. But the thing is that that can cause this imposter syndrome, because as I come on here and people look up to me in all different ways, I don't know who's going to listen to this. I don't know if I'm just speaking to a videographer right now, a photographer, a stay-at-home mom, a teacher, a business owner, a real estate agent. I don't know. I have a variety of people that listen to me, consume me, look up to me, don't look up to me, care what I have to say, don't care what I have to say, think I'm crazy, don't think I'm crazy. It doesn't really matter. But I know that I have a service heart. I love helping people, and I love and am really doggone good at helping people have breakthroughs, helping people build up their confidence, gain more clarity, gain more confidence. And I think at times the thing that we're the best at, we look at through a lens of, well, it can't be that I do. Like, some people are great at photography, but think, oh, I'm not that good, because the thing that comes most naturally and that's most easy, we dismiss. And when we focus and think life has to be so hard. So for me, getting on here and just speaking, I could do a version of this all the time. But as soon as I go in and a video came out today, if you go to my YouTube channel, if you're on my email list, right, wherever you're watching this right now, you may have seen that video, you may not. But back in February, over the course of 2 days, I recorded 11 videos. And I'm like, I'm going to get help, and I'm going to get an editor. I have a great editor. If he's watching this right now or happens to listen to it, it's like, dude, you're a rock star. But I found, and this is what you will find out there as well, is it better to hire people and scale and get a team and delegate and do all these things? For some people, it is. For some people, it would be, but it isn't for them because they hate it. And I think there's things we can grow to love, but I don't think we can force the love. We can force the passion. So some of you, what you happen to be, and I find this for myself in different areas, sometimes we're in love with something that might just not have an easy potential to make a lot of money. And so as much as I believe that anything is possible, I do believe that. But I believe that certain things are more possible more easily than other things. And so a person who loves knitting, like, can watch all these videos, but they might not be in love with doing a business for knitting. And people go, oh, you're so good. You need to have a business. You need to do something with this. You need to make money. And for them, they're just completely not interested. And for some of those people, they might make a few $100s on the side. Then they might try to hire people and do all these things. And they might hate what they're doing. I've run into those people where when they try to turn their love or their hobby into a business, they end up hating it and despising it. Sometimes it works for people. That's why life, to me, is this paradox of this, you're clear and you're confused at the same time. Like, sometimes it's like, I can feel like I have multiple personalities with things, because it's like I live as this super confident person and then a non-confident person at the same time. And it shows up and happens in different ways with different situations, but it's not like it's the black and white. It's like I'm confident all the time, everywhere and everywhere I go, all day, every day. It's like, no, there's things I am really confident with. And then there's things I don't have any confidence at all. There's things I'm really clear with. And then there's things I don't have any clarity at all. So before I keep going, I see some people popping on, which I always love, because I love to know that there's a live audience. And that's the thing that I have found about me. I love to perform. I love an audience. I'm not the person who wants to do everything in isolation by myself, anywhere I'm at. Some people, my wife, quite frankly, God bless her, she loves to kind of work alone. She just loves to listen to podcasts and work alone. She doesn't have any desire to work with people. I love that connection. And that's what I found when I recorded these videos and got a team of people and stuff. It's like, I'm losing the spur of the momentness, that rawness. That's who I am. That's what people love. These videos that are fancily edited and have all these things. It looks cool. Like, I'm proud of what they look like, but in the big picture, I don't really enjoy putting them together. And guess what? I've tried over and over again to fall in love with these other processes that work for other people, but they don't work for me. And so I don't know about you right now. And I leave a comment. I mean, if somebody's on here, right now I'm streaming from StreamYard. So I'm streaming in like 3 places, but I think if you leave a comment, I think I can see it from here. I'm not 100% sure. But I want to, over time, and I'm probably going to maybe get a text number or something, I'm going to do these lives spontaneously again. I've always loved doing lives. I know that there's going to be a lot more that probably see this or listen to it on podcasts or after the fact on YouTube. But I'm going to probably try to create a list so people, if they want to be on these and they want to interact and they want to ask questions, I could send out a text. I don't have it yet. If that's something you'd be interested in sharing your number and I can just text you when I go live, then leave a comment and let me know that. You can send me a private message on like Messenger on Facebook, or leave a comment. Let me know you'd be interested, because I'll get that. And I think over time I can build that up. There can be more people, but I want the interaction. Like I've apologized as I've wanted to not want it. I've wanted to be a person who just does everything in private and never interacts with people. It's like, because sometimes it can be easier. And it's like, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. And I want to continue. I practice pretty much most of what I preach, but at times I find that there's still areas that I have been so conditioned and had so much that's been fed to my mind for so long from the industry that I literally filmed in, the industry I wanted to learn from so that I could make a living speaking and coaching, took me so far away from really making great money with that, because I got sent off in all these paths and I allowed it to happen, but I didn't know what was happening. It's because I put my trust and faith in someone else. What are you doing right now? I don't want you to have your trust and faith in me, but believe me, I don't got no answers that are going to be like, you must do this or you must do that. When I work with people privately, I listen to you and you alone. And the only person I care about helping is you, and making sure that you figure out for you what you want to do, not what other people want you to do, not what some person randomly on the internet who has no connection says you should do, but what are you going to do? What are you excited to do? Like, you can tell there's an energy and a zest right now that I bring to this, because I'm not trying to think that I have to say this in a certain way, in a certain time, in a certain speed, and a certain this and a certain that. That stuff paralyzes me. It literally has me do absolutely nothing. And I literally just saw a guy with a video the other day who showed 2 different YouTube channels, one that has, we'll call them both, have about 1.5 million subscribers and a similar amount of views, millions and millions of views. But one has literally hundreds upon hundreds of videos, and the guy makes it like a factory. He's literally got everything delegated, shooting, editing. He's not even on the camera of the videos, I don't think. And it's just like he's built a machine, and that machine has allowed him to pump out a high volume of videos on a regular basis. And this other guy is like a one-man band. He's solo, doing his own thing, taking months upon months and hundreds of hours to put these things together. And he has, he's got like 20 videos, but they have a similar amount of views and similar amount of subscribers, and yet dramatic approach to how they've achieved that, dramatically different approach to how they've achieved that. And I kind of sit in the middle. Like, I'm not going to be the guy who spends 4.5 months perfecting a video. I've never been that guy. I got out of filmmaking because of that. Like, I helped my dad do that back in the day. And God love him and my family and my friends. And when we did that, and there was a level of fun, but like the arduous process, I like being around the people. That's about it. But like to get the reaction, have to rally up the people, all this stuff to make the film that took like 9 months to a year and a half. I didn't enjoy. And then when I finally did weddings and got to do a same day edit and like shoot, edit, and show that day and get this reaction, like I was hooked. And that's why, like, when I've recorded videos and I'm like, I want to help people, I want to put messages out, I know people get an impact, but I started being influenced and think, well, yeah, but you got to have the right title, the right thumbnail, the right this, the right that. You got to do this and you got to do that. You got to look at the analytics, and you got to have this thing. You got to have a 3-part structure, and there's so many things. And I'm like, for the love of all God, like, I mean, the people who've hired me and the people I've helped, I didn't do any of this stuff. And then when I get in my head about all that, I'm like, I'm not that guy. I'm not in love with doing that stuff. There are people who naturally love the analytics and the numbers and all the little details and all the little stuff. And the people who naturally love that can get better at that, and they'll thrive with that. The person who doesn't love it but thinks they should will never thrive with it and never do well with it. Never with an asterisk, maybe, if you end up falling in love with it. But if you don't, and you're trying to ramrod it and force it to happen, you're just going to be, technically, to me, a version of wasting time until the pain and the stuff builds, where you get to a point like I just did today. It's like boiling. Like, I love my life as a whole. I've gotten to a place where I realize I get what I want. And just a few short years ago, I was tired of traveling 6 to 7 months out of the year. It was the only way I made money, is if I got on a plane. didn't want to do really video overall anymore. I was exhausted from it. I just love speaking. I love encouraging, motivating, coaching, counseling, therapizing, whatever people want to say. I've had people call me a therapist, all sorts of things. I love doing that. And ultimately, since the big C's happened, I have not hardly traveled at all. I've only, 6 to 7 months a year. I've probably traveled 6 or 7 times since 2020. Like I've been in the last, I've been on 6 or 7 trips that whole time. I've been on like 2 trips this year. And I'm making the money coaching. Like I have a completely free and clear schedule overall. I'm not making the money currently like I used to. And I don't like to have to stand on here and do that either. Like, oh my God, I'm crushing it financially and I will show you how to. It's like, no, I'm a human being. I am damn good at helping people, but I have been in my own transitional phase, figuring certain things out. That doesn't stop my ability to be great at helping somebody else. But I'm also not kind of moaning and complaining about it every day either. I'm figuring it out. I'm not taking a million actions and going, I can't figure out why I can't sell. I can't figure out why I'm not doing this. But I've been caught in my head on certain things. And there have been certain things I want to do again, bring back up that I haven't been doing. One of it's putting things out, putting messages like this out that I know energize people, excite people, get them, to see somebody else who's showing up raw and real and not staged and scripted. Maybe there's somebody out there who wants to be raw and real, but feels they need to be staged and scripted. And so they're being an example of somebody who has the courage to be raw and real is going to help them have the courage to be raw and real and not think like I was thinking because I got conditioned for so long that you've got to not be raw and real, that you've got to somehow be scripted and staged and all these other things. You got to have this release schedule and you've got to release on a Monday at 9 a.m. and a Wednesday at 2 p.m. and do this. Like everybody's creating their own goddamn rules. Like I study the crap out of people through my lifetime. There's this guy, love him or hate him, I don't know. I just start mentioning things because I just want people to see the full pictures. This guy my brother talks about, Theo Vaughn's his name. I'm just fascinated by this guy. He's an interesting character. And it's like, and so I'm sending him these documentary things. He's like, wow, you're really getting into him. I'm like, that's what I do. Because I study these people. I like to see how did this person get to, especially ones where you're like, I don't even know how they got to where they got to. And you study their stories and you see their backgrounds. And it's like, because there is no formula, there is no blueprint. And these people at some of the biggest levels, they didn't buy a course or a program or a step-by-step or a 10-step program with an 8-week this or that has a call every week and a do and a yada, yada, yada. Like they're not going through that. These celebrities, these entertainers, some of the people at the top that people look up to and that are mainstream that people know, They just wandering through the darkness. Like they work hard. There's certain things they get good at, but they're not like, let me check this off my box today because this was in the worksheet of the 10-week thing that I'm going through. It says I'm supposed to do this, this, and this, and then I can achieve what they achieved. Because they say things like, if I can do it, you can do it. This is the way. This works for me, so it will work for you. You don't need to have a brain, anything. All you really need is a computer. You don't need to know how to use the computer. You don't need to know anything about business or marketing or anything. If you just give me $1,000, $5,000, $500, just follow the steps. It's all you got to do. Then you too can make money like I make. And what I find is it's like, my friend, it might work for you, but it doesn't mean that it will work for you. It's like I have a custom pair of prescription glasses right here. Custom pair, right? I could go hand this to 100 people and I'd bet almost my life that I'm not going to have anybody go, wow, we got the exact same eyes. Isn't that amazing? Now, if we had 20/20 vision and these were regular glasses and I handed them to somebody who doesn't have a custom prescription, then I could hand it to everybody with 20/20 vision and they're going to go, oh, wow, these are cool glasses. These are nice. But if you hand a custom pair of prescription glasses to anybody that doesn't like have prescription or not, their eyes, I mean, hand it to a person with 20/20 vision and your custom prescription, they're like, oh my God, this is really blurry, right? It's not how it works. And there's not enough custom prescription. And you know why there's not enough custom prescription? Because what's easier to build? What company is easier to build? A company that requires a custom thing for every person, or a company that, so if we take a glasses company, which would be easier to build? A glasses company for anybody and everybody who wears glasses, but not a custom prescription pair, just you want to wear glasses for an aesthetic. Or where you've got to figure out how we have custom prescriptions for every single person that buys. That's going to be a more difficult company. And when it comes to helping human beings in their life, when it comes to their mental health, when it comes to building a business, acting like everything's a one size fits all versus what size fits you has a large part of the population really confused about what to do and what actions to take and what they'll actually do and what they'll actually love, because it's all these one size fits all. Imagine this for a second. Imagine the glasses scenario. Imagine that you don't know glasses exist, but you need the glasses. And somebody knows you need glasses, but you keep telling your problem to people who don't really either know glasses exist, don't believe in glasses, don't understand anything about glasses. So they hear your problem and they start giving you advice. But imagine, remember, that the help I actually need and the problem I have is I need glasses. I need glasses, I need contacts, or I need LASIK, right? That's what I need help with right now. But you talk to people who don't understand any of that. So they tell you, you should get some more sleep. You change your diet. You need to eat better. You need to work out. You need to do some push-ups. You need to do some sit-ups. You need to go on a run. You need to go on a walk. You need to walk 10 minutes a day. You need to buy some different clothes. You need to put a YouTube video out once a week. You need to do this. You need to do that, right? And you get done doing all these things and they all like make logical sense on some level, but there's something off. There's something kind of wrong. And you're doing these things. And at the end of doing all these things and you see improvements in your life, you still go, but I can't see that well. But I can't see that well. Maybe you need to do a few more push-ups. Maybe you need to eat a few more eggs. Maybe you need to take a few more doses of vitamin C. And you're like, my friend, I can't take any more vitamin C. Can't drink any more water. Can't go on any more walks. I can't sleep anymore. I've done all these things. I still can't see that well. And what's happening in the online educational space is there's a lot of, I need a custom prescription pair of glasses, but my friend, that ain't scalable. So they ain't going to build custom prescription pair of glasses because you can't pay them enough money to want to spend time with you to help you actually figure out what's the right prescription for you. What's the right prescription for you? So what we do is we generalize it out and act as though this works for everybody. And then what happens is if you sell, I don't know, 40,000 units of something, the law of averages says that there's going to be some of the exact right people at the exact right time who are going to get the results. And then guess what happens? And thank God overall, I don't do much video anymore because at the end of the day, guess what I'm about to say? This will hurt what I used to do, because the reality is the testimonials. I filmed so many testimonials at events where these people are just caught on a high. Oh my God, this is so great, man. I met the right people and yada, yada, yada. And they're so excited. It's like they're genuine, but nothing's changed in their life. They just feel great in the moment. You're catching a person on the emotional high. So what happens in these 10K and 10-day things that sell 40,000 people is the law of averages says you're going to get a percentage of people who are going to make the 10K in 10 days. And then what's going to happen is you bet your bottom dollar that the owners of those companies are going to get those people. Those people are going to be dying to leave testimonials because they're going to be all over the marketing and get promotion and get their names out there even more. And what's going to happen is those 100, 250 testimonials get out there that it is possible that you can make 10K in 10 days because people did it. But guess what? When 40,000 people bought it and 300 people achieved it, but 39,700 people didn't make a freaking dollar, the 39,700 people that didn't make a dollar feel like idiots and get more shame and more guilt because they feel like a loser. They feel like they'll never succeed. They don't have any more money to invest, and they give up on their dreams. They give up on their goals or give up on their ambitions because they think there's something wrong with them. When in fact, you've just been told to do all these things and you don't know that you need glasses, custom pair of prescription glasses, but they don't tell you about the glasses, right? Imagine that you go in and you think you're buying a private jet, and you did buy a private jet, but you apply this to the 10K in 10 days scenarios. You walk into this hangar and you look and you thought there was going to be the private jet. And they're like, it is, my friend. There's all the parts and all the manuals and all the tools and everything you need to build your own private jet. And when you go to build that private jet and you don't know a thing about welding and electrical and mechanics and anything else, and you do it by yourself, it's going to take you a decade to build that bloody freaking plane yourself, unless you spend 24 hours a day doing it. So some people come into these things and they already got a team and people and branding and reputation and all these things. So they pull a lever. I had a guy once, biggest freaking like non-helpful, not great at what he did, Facebook ad guy. Will not throw him under the bus, but the reality is he was great at taking a huge company, pressing one lever, and it made them a lot of money. But if you weren't a big company and you pushed that same lever, it didn't make you a lot of money. And so at times, there's these companies and people out there that's what's happening is there's the right people at the right time. They get the testimonials and then it says, hey, it's real. Hey, it can happen. And you think, okay, great. This is going to be the thing. If I just follow the steps, if I just do the thing, it's like, yeah, but if you're starting at zero, like somebody's in there and they already go, oh, I've already got all the team of electricians and welders and all these things. And now it's like you have the things and now boom. And you already have enough knowledge about this and this because you've been doing it for 5 years. It's like, so that person is going to be at a completely different place to build that private jet with all the parts and all the tools and all the manuals than a person who doesn't know anything and doesn't have the connections and the brand and the reputation yet. Whew. Feels good. Just get on here. Let's go on a raw and real rant. Maybe that's what I should call them. Raw and real rants. Michael Gebben, Mind Mechanic. Tuning up hearts and minds one at a time. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, I want to get on here. I need to say this more often. I can do this. I can go off on tangents for 4.5 hours. I got so much to say. You know, it's just like I do have to make money doing something. And I just can't sit on and be live all day long. But at the end of the day, I want questions from you. I want questions from you. And so please, I cannot stress enough that there is nothing more that I want to do when getting on these videos in the future than to have these conversations being sparked by you. Right? Having these conversations being sparked by you, because the greatest thing I can do is I can't help. And Danny Schneibel, I am my friend. Let's see if I can pop this up for him. What's this do? Look at that. Danny Schneibel's asking in my live. I am right now. I am while I'm doing it. I know there's recording software and everything else. I am live right now. 4:06, May 22nd, 2023. There you go. So if you're not catching it at May 22nd, 4:06 Central Standard Time, 2023, then it is not me live. It is a recording of this. But yeah, you know, I can't help everybody, but I do a heck of a lot of stuff in private and it makes a huge impact. And if you want to go to the mindmechanic.net, click on the coaching tab, you can send me a message. I do free trials with people. We get a little interaction. You can get a taste of my private help. I got some great pricing now that I do, and I love that I can tell it. I kind of treat it like, I'll just tell the three prices. I won't say it on here. That way, if the prices are different, it is what it is. But basically, it's between $100 and $1,000. Not $100,000, but $100 and $1,000. I have three different rates. They could change over time when you listen to this, but just send me a message. But basically, it's only a difference in speed. I realize I do the same work for everyone. It doesn't matter if you pay me nothing, a little, or a lot. I'm the same Michael Gebben all the time with everybody, everywhere that you get me. And so if you like hearing me and you want your own private podcast feed, basically, with me and your things and what you've got going on, and you don't want to have it be public or anything else, then send me a message, because I have the three different prices that allow different variety of people at different money abilities to be able to sign up. And all it is speed. It's like UPS, Amazon, anything else. You got Prime, you know, you can get it shipped in a day. If you don't have Prime, you got to pay extra to have overnight shipping, right? So all it is how fast I respond. That is the only thing in my pricing packages now, is how fast I respond. I'm just excited. This felt really good, but I would love to, again, have the things I come on here and do be sparked by you. So you can private message me on Messenger. You can go on Voxer and send me an audio. And then if you don't want to pay right now, you just have to allow me to share your thing potentially publicly. I won't be able to go back and forth, but I am trying to merge my two worlds of private and public, because there's too much that's happening in private and there's too much gold. I have my clients keep telling me, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I've had to find the way that works for me, because all these other ways, they don't work for me. all the fancy editing, having somebody else edit it, managing all these people to do it, and when I release and when I shouldn't release, and I want to release consistently at a certain day and a certain time. I screw that. I might go live at 4 o'clock. I might go live at 5 o'clock in the morning. I might go live twice a day. I might go live every other day. I might go live once a week. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I don't want you to care, because the only way I know I'll succeed with anything I do in my life is for me to not care about those things. Why? Because I have proof from the past, which gives me peace in my present, that I did not care about certain things in my past. I just had fun, and I just had joy, and I just did what I loved, and I followed my curiosity, and I won big. I stopped having, I didn't listen to the people who said, well, you can't do that, because when I did that and I followed them, I lost. When I followed my heart, although not always accurate and not always the right thing to do, it leads me in the right direction far more than it doesn't. Far more than it doesn't. And so I want to continue to be that beacon for light, a beacon of light, beacon for light for people to be able to show up and be you. If you're having to force it, I don't have it actually written down anywhere, but I've been typing it to people and I love it. The word is fun. Fun, 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 fun. I'm potentially going to do this comedy podcast with my dad, my brother, and his good buddy, and we're just going to shoot the shit. And we're potentially going to call it Buds and Duds. And we're just going to sit. My dad's got crazy stories. His buddy has crazy stories. My brother has crazy stories. And I got crazy stories too. And the comedy, goofy, is a part of me as well. Right? Like, got a little crazy. Got a little fun. I like to have fun. But I just want to do it. Not worry about how do I got to monetize it? How do I make money from it? Sometimes we just got to do things for fun. And so I have overthought the bloody you-know-what out of what I want to do when it comes to creating content. And right now, this is the way, right? Little Grogu, little Mandalorian, this is the way. This is my way, though. And I want to continue to remind people as they listen to me, I don't have all the answers. I don't have the answer for you. I don't have the way, the right way, the perfect way. I don't have those things. I'm just here to show and share what works for me, what works for people that I work with, and what might resonate or might work with you, but it doesn't mean it will. And the only thing I can guarantee that will help the most is if I can dig in specifically to you. If I can't, I'm just giving out generalized things, hopefully sparked by someone, not just by me pulling it out of my rear end. Today was sparked by multiple conversations in Voxer with my private clients. And I'm like, I got to get on here. I've been talking about it for literally probably the last 3.5 weeks doing what I'm doing right now. And the old me at 18 years old would have done it the day I thought about it. And I got to get back in that rhythm, but I lost that momentum of being the guy who thought it and did it. I do it sometimes, but not as much. And how do you do it? You do it. And that's thing. We got my man, Danny Schnabel. Send a message today. Or send a message today. Send Michael a message. Nothing to lose, and it can possibly help you unlock your superpower and help you rock it. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I love it. And I'll just keep saying it. I'll just keep getting on here and doing it and going live and not worrying about, I got to have the right this and the right that and all these things in a certain amount of time and a certain amount of this. Like, that is literally paralyzing. It's like Ed Sheeran said he wasn't going to do music anymore if he would have lost the case with the Marvin Gaye thing. It's because it would just suck the life out of it. And so how many things are you doing right now that you've sucked the life out of? Because you believe that there is some proper, perfect, magical unicorn way that you're supposed to do something. When you can look online, and this is the biggest thing that I have found, you can look online and there are literally tens of thousands of different examples of people doing all sorts of strange, weird, quirky, different, unique ways, and they are succeeding doing it. And in fact, if you want to have probably the greatest chance of success nowadays is be quirky and different and unique and stand out, right? Versus me getting on here and like, okay, gotta have my specific intro. Okay, check. I did my intro. I gotta have my the pin doesn't work. I gotta have my three message step, right? We got to get on here. There needs to be 3 specific things that I say. And then when you say each of those things, keep it under 2 minutes each. And then after I say those 3 things, we got to recap what I was going to say and say those even shorter than I said them the first time. And then have a specific call to action. And then after that, make sure we come back and we do this. And that's how it needs to be. And you do that once a week. You can batch record a bunch of content. So you go in and you can plan out content for a year. And if you just take one day, you're going to be able to write all these topics out. You're going to have this 52 different ideas. And then you're going to map out, you got the video idea, you got the video title, then you're going to have the 3 points you're going to make in each of those videos. And then you're going to go and you're going to spend one day and you're going to record each of these 52 videos in one day. And then they're going to get edited and then they're going to get released once a week. And I'm just like, how I keep falling for that shit, I don't know. But here's the thing. It works. It works. You hear me? It works. It works for a person who wants to work it, who likes to work it, who is wired that way. I am not. I am not. You might not be, or you might be. That's why I love this line. Test, don't guess. Action creates clarity. There's things you think you'll love. There's things you think you'll hate. There's things you think you'll love, you'll hate. There's things you think you'll hate, you'll love. But you got to do it to know it. Test, don't guess. And so for me, it's just like, I know what I love. I know what I'm great at. I know what people seem to love. And there'll probably be comments now or later, depending on how many people are watching this bloody thing right now. But the reality is, over and over again, I don't know how many times I need to be told, Michael, we want you. Michael, we want this. Michael, they're never telling me, Michael, we want the 5-step formula with the intro, the 3 steps, under 60 seconds a piece, with the outro, with the thing this way, with some music and with some sound effects. That's what we need. And if you won't do that, Michael, I don't want to listen to your content. I don't like it. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. Don't do it. Right? Nobody's doing that. They're telling me, Michael, just show up. Just speak. We love the energy. We love the passion. We love the rawness. We love the authenticity. And I'm like, no, that's not the right way to do it. I've been told 45,000 times at all these courses and events and programs and workshops and virtual summits for the last goddamn 10 years that that's not the way you can do it. You got to have this formula. It's like, for the love of all things, I'm exhausted talking about that shit. I seriously, it's like, the amount of time I spend where I'm speaking to a client, might as well be speaking to myself, because I'm like, for the love of God, like, they're screwed up and stuck and confused and lost because they're trying to fit them square pegs in round holes. I mean, you got to learn how to chisel the freaking wood so you can make that square a circle. But why? Go find a circle. Go find a square, right? Or make your own. Right. And that's the thing. The people who are thriving are people who are, I know people who literally are like, almost allude to the fact that you're not allowed to experiment because they're the experimenter. And I'm going, so you got to what you're teaching because you experimented, but now you have the answer, the right one and the only one. And I should not deviate off of it, although that's how you got here. What's going on? Am I missing? Somehow I keep missing the boat. I mean, I know I'm not that fast sometimes. It takes me a little bit to catch up, but god dang. When you stop and you slow down and you think about some of these things, it's like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I'll tell you, I've been desperate plenty. I've been desperate plenty. When somebody gives you what you feel to be the answer that you could potentially, have more abundance of money, make the money doing what you love, and you have a low self-confidence and a low self-esteem, you'll listen. Especially if they feel that they have the answers. They have a lot of conviction and a lot of certainty. In 2020, my buddy has an assessment, long assessment to take, my buddy Steve, and one of the things it measures is self-esteem. Just in 2020, on 0 to 100, my self-esteem was a 20. A 20 out of a 100. That means I didn't have a lot of it. Took it about 3 months ago. The self-esteem was a 90. And so but yet I've given a story about the backwards bike hundreds of times to people. This guy has a video. You ride, it looks like a normal bike. It literally takes 30 seconds to tell you the thing. We can count it out right now. It looks like a normal bike. Rides like a normal bike. Everything is normal about it. But when you turn left, it goes right. When you turn right, it goes left. That's it. You know all you need to know now. All you need to know. So this guy would do speaking engagements and would offer $250 to anybody who could ride 10 feet, and no one could do it. But by God, you bet your bottom dollar they were confident and cocky they could. They were confident and cocky that they could. Why? Because I got it. You just told me how it works. I know how to ride a bike. Doesn't take brain surgery, rocket science. You just told me it's a backwards bike. Looks like a normal bike. Rides like a normal bike. Should be able to do it. This is what personal development, these things is missing for people, is you're getting it up here, but you're not getting it through here, through the whole body. And that's what I've recognized in my life. Even though my self-esteem is shot through the roof, even though I've got a lot of confidence, I've got a lot of clarity, I have all these things working for me on the intellect, there are certain things that I have repeated doing for a decade. And this is what's happening to a lot of us. We are in habitual habits of doing certain things in certain ways every day. And if we don't intentionally break the cycle and then recognize we're breaking it and then repeat practicing it intentionally day in and day out and day in and day out, we'll just rubber band back to exactly who we were and what we were doing. It took his son, who was 6 years old, who'd ridden a bike for 3 years, only a few weeks before he could ride the backwards bike. It took the dad, who was in his 40s, 9 months of practicing daily before he could ride that backwards bike. Then it took 20 minutes to ride a regular bike again. We have muscle memory. I can talk and flow like this because my brain knows all these things and has connected all these dots and wired and fired in a certain way that allows me to just speak without having to go, what's that word? Or when I'm moving my arms, I don't have to go, how do I move my hand? How do I do it? No, I know how to do it. Boom, I want to do this right now. This is what I'm doing. Want to do this? This is what I'm doing. Want to do this? This is what I'm doing. Want to do this? This is what I'm doing, right? Want to do this? This is what I'm doing. But imagine people who get in a car accident and now they're 37 years old and they've got to figure out how to take the step one by one. They have to consciously be aware of that. So what I find is a lot of us, we've watched plenty of videos that motivate. We've watched plenty of inspiring things. We've bought plenty of courses and programs and step-by-steps and certifications and degrees and yada, 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 and this, right? But what I want to keep bringing on is tying into the things that people, I don't think, are thinking or knowing enough and being reminded of enough. We need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. I got creative constipation. That's what this is. I'm like creative, constipation. I'm releasing that stuff right now because I've taken in too much. I've consumed too much. My brain is on literal overload. I've deleted Facebook from my phone, Instagram from my phone. Probably need to freaking delete YouTube from my phone. Like these things, it's just like, I got plenty in my brain right now. You got to process, got to release. You can only eat so much before you're going to blow up. Right? You only drink so much before you got to take a pee. Right? You got to get it out. You got to release. And some of you probably creatively constipated as well. You need to release. You need to play your music, sing your song, speak, write, do whatever it is. You've got to release it, not just keep learning about it. Most people don't understand how to ride a bike any more than they got off and fell down, and now they can ride it. They don't know how it works. They don't know how to change the tires. They don't know how to fix the brakes. They don't do a bloody thing with the bike except for ride it. And you don't need to know all these things, but you have to practice. And if you wanted to ride the other bike, the backwards bike, the same bike, but it just does a backward thing, it takes practice. And you can't look at a scale and go, I'm 2 days away from losing 2 more pounds. You can't do these things. You just have to keep practicing. And so how many things have you learned that you know intellectually, but you don't have the relationship? You don't have the body. You don't have the money. You don't have the this. It's not because you're lacking the information. It's not because you need more information. What you need is more understanding of implementation so that you can practice these things, so you can embody these things. That's what I'm practicing every day. Every single day. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I'm tired of even attempting to act at all in any remote way like I do. I'm tired of coming on here and acting like I'm supposed to be better than, or whatever these freaking Gomer Piles tell you need to do, and the ways you need to say it and how you need to say it and the tonality and the blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm a human being. You're probably a human being. It's best we know. I mean, I could be an alien. I'm not sure. Leave that up to you to guess, right? But as far as I know, I'm human. And as far as I know, I have emotions. Because why? I feel them. I cry. I get angry. I get sad. I get frustrated. I get happy. I get joyful. I'm clear. I'm confident. I know what to do. I don't know what to do, right? I'm a freaking human, and I'm really great at helping humans, even though I'm flawed. I'm a constant work in progress. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I make people mad. I make people cry. I make people happy. I do all sorts of things, right? My actions result in a whole myriad of things. My intention is to help. My intention is to serve. My intention is to inspire. That's it. I'm not getting on here preaching at you. I know the answer. This is what you should do. No, I don't know what you should do. And until I ever get to talk with you, I'll never know what you maybe even should consider doing. And you need to watch when you're just consuming broad strokes information from people on the internet that don't know anything about you, and they don't know what custom prescription pair of glasses that you wear, that before they're just spouting all their stuff at you, telling you this is the right way and the wrong way, and this is what you should or shouldn't do. Get to know somebody who is going to get to know you, who has an understanding of people, business. Somebody. Doesn't have to be me. I don't care if it's me. I only have so much time. That's why I want to do more things in public. I can help more people. I have more time right now. I'll always be able to help someone, but that's why I want to do some more of this in public. And I want to have more things where I can coach a specific person publicly. So if you have any desire in any way, shape, or form, I'm still figuring it all out. I just took MIA, Inspired and Perfect Action. So I'm potentially going to have a phone number where you can leave a 3-minute voicemail, and you can leave that. I might play those things and be able to respond to those. Whatever you can do to give me a message. Download Voxer, send me an audio message there. I want to get the messages from you. So if you start listening to these today and you listen to them tomorrow and you listen to them the next day, I want to take you from lurker to, I don't have a rhyming word to it. I like to rhyme, but there ain't no pressure, ain't no shame, ain't no judgment from me. I here to love on people. So don't be afraid. Anyways, any other comments? Looks like they're working. So Jennifer, hello. Facebook user, don't know who that is. Be do have. Danny and Andy, Danny, Jennifer, and Facebook user. So anyways, this is streaming to my Facebook group page and YouTube right now. So I highly suggest, you can go to themindmechanic.net and you can go to podcast there and you can subscribe. That way I send out an email when I release new stuff. Going on YouTube, going on podcast. I'm not really very active right now on Facebook or anything else. But you can definitely send me a message. You can either send me a message on my contact form. You can go to themindmechanic.net/Voxer, Voxer. Send me a message there. Like I said, to give you a little test drive of what it's like to be privately coached by me. And be on the lookout. Like I said, I might set up a text message thing so I can text message people. I know all these services aren't good at notifying. And so if you definitely want to catch it, you definitely want to be on the live energy when it's recorded, then get on my stuff so you can get notified. And then when I have a text message thing, I'll probably send a text out saying I'm going live, because I don't know when I'm going to do them. I'm not committing to do them at any particular time, any particular length, any particular amount, none of that. I'm just going to do them. That's all I want to do. That seems fun. It seems fulfilling. This was enjoyable today. And so, and definitely leave comments, leave interaction. Let the algorithms know. Share them with somebody. The more engagement there is, the better for these bloody things. So anyways, I appreciate your time today. It's been good. It felt good. I hope you got some value from that. Again, don't be afraid to reach out, because I'm tuning up hearts and minds one at a time so dreams don't die, and hearts, heads, and hard drives. Michael Gevin here. Excited to be here with you. Look forward to connecting with you. God willing, this is the one of many of this new raw, real style. They're all real. This is raw. So rock and roll, my friend. Have a great day. Thank you much. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.